I made a mistake. Well, maybe, but I'll get to that later. Basically, I uploaded a video that annoyed a lot of cubers, and it was all because I said that the hobby might be dying. And that video got a lot of comments, which I have and will continue to respond to all of them. But reading through them would take ages, so this video will give an explanation of some of the more controversial points. And so I will cover the most debated ideas, the top comments, and why I actually made the video. Now, one of the things that a lot of people picked up on is the YouTubers that I said had died. This is really annoying to me because when I scripted the video, everyone on this list had actually slowed down significantly or stopped. But clearly, December CPM for YouTube has come through in full force and brought them all back. Now, to try and prove that I wrote this video a long time ago, here is the Apple Notes file, which says that it was created on the 11th of November 2023. That was pretty much 3 months ago. At that point, Cubehead had only posted an average of 1 video a month. Cubing Encoded hadn't posted for 7 months. CubeSolve Heroes' last video was over a year ago. TNL Cubing hadn't posted an actual video in 2 years. Cubix was the same. And CubeRazn had less than 1 video every month. The only one that you can argue against is Tingman. And so yes, the clear thing that everyone will tell me is that I should have changed the video before releasing it. But to be honest, I didn't expect that many people to watch the video, so I just kept that part in. Right, next up is probably the biggest thing that everyone said, and that was the Reddit screenshots that I added to the video. So basically, I didn't even think about this until partway through the edit. Simply put, I thought that the video started to get a little bit boring at this point, and I needed something happening on screen to change it up a bit. And so I decided to find some posts from r/cubers on Reddit to back up the point I was making at that part of the video. The issue is that one of these posts was from 8 years ago, and considering I'm talking about how all of the recent things happening to cubing has caused it to start dying, many viewers thought this was not the right way of showing my point. And so yes, I should have gotten rid of that one, but in reality I hadn't even thought too much about this part because it was just a small thing that was added for retention, and that's it. Another big talking point from this video is that I only spoke about 3x3. I now understand that this is an issue because of how many advancements there have been in other categories since I stopped cubing. Personally, I've only really ever practiced 3x3, which means I haven't really kept up with all the new exciting 5x5 releases or the many new world records within other events. And this just means that I approached the video from a very one-sided point of view, and therefore it could be seen as incorrect because of how much of the cubing scene I ignored to only focus on 3x3. And I accept that that was a mistake on my part, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the original points weren't incorrect, especially considering that 3x3 is the main Rubik's Cube event. Okay, so now let's move on to some of the comments from this video. The first of which is this: Betteridge's Law of Headlines. Now, I had to actually Google what this meant because I've never heard it before, but essentially it means any headline that ends in a question mark can be answered by the word no. And this is because if you were confident that the answer was yes, then the statement would have been presented as an assertion. However, on YouTube, I think that this is very different. See, it is a well-known thing that to get a viewer to relate to your video, you can ask a question that will get them to start to think about the topic, and therefore they are more likely to click. For example, this Mr. Beast video. It makes you start to think about the content, and for me, the answer would definitely be yes. So in this case, the law of headlines is just not true. Or what about this JPerm video, to give an example within the cubing scene? Well, if you watch the video, you will know that the answer is yes. So I think that this theory can be disproved on YouTube. Another comment that I saw quite a bit was the fact that YouTubers don't always have to make content. And I think this comes from the point about JPerm's channel. It's pretty simple that people burn out. However, it does seem like a lot of the top cubing YouTubers have burnt out at the same time as one another, which I believe suggests that they all got a little bit bored of cubing, and there must be a reason for all of this happening at the same time. But okay, it seems like most of them are coming back, so if you can't agree with everyone I said in that video, then maybe you can agree to the point that they did take a break from cubing because the content side died out for a couple of months, and now they're back. So cubing could be on the rise again after a short break it took. Who knows? Okay, but now let me explain why I made the video in the first place. Essentially, I hadn't cubed in such a long time, so for me to be making a video about new cubes or that sort of thing just wouldn't seem right because I knew nothing about it. But considering I experienced taking a break from cubing firsthand. I knew a lot about the reasons for that and why others would and did do the same. And therefore this was just an easy video for me to make as a way to get back into making and uploading videos. On top of this, I genuinely believe that the points I made were reasonable. When I begun making that script, I didn't really know what to write, but as soon as I got into it, I realized how much there actually was that could be an argument for cubing dying. So to be honest, after the idea, the video itself just became really easy to make, and that was the best way for me to get back into this channel. But before I leave you with one more thing, I noticed that many of the people who left comments on the original video didn't actually watch it all the way through. They just saw the title and decided to give their opinions on it in the comments. And that can be seen with the retention graph. Many people just clicked off as soon as the video started, and very few made it to the end. So if maybe you didn't watch it all the way, or haven't watched it at all, then there is a link in the description and at the end of this video. But now, I will leave you with one more reason why I may have made this video.
I thought I had it all together, but I was led astray the day you walked away. You were the clock that was ticking in my heart, changed my state of mind when love's so hard.